Okay, welcome back. For the last part of the tutorial, we are going to go ahead and show off how to do crafting. Now for crafting, it's pretty straightforward, at least when it comes to the small missiles. The standard missiles are a little bit more complicated. We will show those in a separate tutorial. So what you need to craft, you're going to need a warhead station to actually craft the warheads themselves, and you're going to need a small missile workstation to craft the missiles. And let's go ahead and get some items up here. So the small missiles are pretty straightforward. You need a casing. You are going to need some kind of engine. I prefer using the gunpowder engines. The other types of engines, they do sort of work. The burner engines, you can put pretty much anything in them and they'll work. The other two do not have support at the moment for inputting fuel, but they do function. So we're going to get gunpowder. Any guidance will pretty much do. Each of these has a fall off and failure rate. Failure rates are not currently implemented in the current version. When they are implemented, it'll basically cause errors in your coordinate system, or it could cause the missile to not go off on impact. So these do actually will matter in the future. We're going to grab the improved guidance, which has a 20-meter miss rate. In the future, things like GPS and other things will be added to get your fall off to almost 0. So go ahead and implement that. So grab a chip, and we're going to need some kind of warhead. So we're going to grab an empty casing for this. So small empty casing. You're going to need an explosive to put in this casing. Let's say antimatter is a good choice. And in the future, you're going to need to grab a trigger. Right now, these are not implemented. When these are implemented, these will provide massive control bonuses over how your explosive goes off when it hits the ground. The basic impact sensors will just go off when it hits the ground. But you can control what it goes off on. So you can say, okay, I want to go off only on stone, only on wood, when I hit glass, stuff like that. This will be based on the hardest of the material though, so you kind of have to figure out exactly how that works. So glass is really weak, stone is a little bit harder, etc., etc. There will be different versions that will give you direct identification of materials. There'll be proximity sensors and everything else. We'll have a lot of fun with that in the future. Anyways, to craft this, put this in here. These slots do identify what goes in them, so, well, they're supposed to identify what goes in them. They won't allow certain items in there, so you can put that in there, you can hit craft, and it will actually craft. Now, the impact sensor would have gone on this side, explosive on this side and stuff. In the future, these will actually have a hovering thing over here to tell you what's going on with them. So we got our warhead. Now we go in this guy, and you just input the stuff in here, and hit craft. It will actually render display what's going on. And you hit craft, it will also continue to render display. It will actually try to display 2 missiles in here if possible, but it can only fit 1. So you go ahead and take that out. Stops rendering. There are options in here. Right now there's no real configurations implemented for any of the actual parts, but you can turn on auto crafting, which will automatically craft based on the supplies in here. So you can stack a whole bunch of supplies up here and you can just put missile casings in here. You can also use assembly lines auto crafting system, which is this guy, to actually input parts manually into there. There will be another tutorial on that specifically when we get around to doing tutorials for assembly line. But that's pretty much it. That's how you craft with that. So I'll show up with another tutorial here later.